Thank you very much and welcome. Would you please be seated? Oh, sorry. For those who don't know, this is Swami Durgananda. She's the head of Samata Yoga Australia as well as Samata Yoga around the world. She is our guru but also a master of meditation. Throughout the class or this workshop, I'd like you to listen with great attention. Please, if you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask those. We'll be going through meditation process step by step. This is an experiential workshop. In other words, we'll be doing some theory and some practice. So, hope you have a wonderful evening. Please give your love and attention to Swami. We'll have a break after about an hour. All right, so it won't be too long. Thank you. So, now you know who I am. I'd like to know, first of all, how many of you have meditated before? Well, just about everybody. That sounds pretty good. And how many of you have had no problems whatsoever and have gone straight into meditation and thought, this is great? Okay, one. That's pretty good. One and a half. You're not sure? 1.5? Okay. Well, it took me a long time, I've got to say that. What we want to know, first of all, with meditation is, what do you want out of it? Okay, so everyone's telling us, the doctor tells us, you've got to meditate. We go to the naturopath, you've got to meditate. You go to your girlfriends and they say you've got to meditate. You go to work and they say, we've got a meditation group starting up. But what I would like to know is, what do you want to get out of your meditation? Can anyone tell me what they would like out of their meditation? Peace? Stop the thoughts. Quietness. To get to know myself better. And that's a good, because that's what I'll talk about tonight. But peace. That's interesting. You're in this world today and we want peace. We almost think we can't have it, isn't it? It's not going to happen. And to still the mind, let me tell you, you don't still the mind. The mind is never still, it always has potential. So we're going to tell you how to quieten it down. Because it'll always be a bit, you've got that little kid who you just cannot shut up. No matter what you do with it, all you can do is put your earplugs in and forget it was ever born. Just go over there and that's it. And that is what you're going to do with your mind. So there's 3 parts of meditation, 1, 2, 3, and they are mostly we might meditate for health. As you said, you wanted no stress, you want stillness, you want quietness, you want peace. Normally we do that for our health, because normally what happens, we're stressed, we go to the doctor and he says, you're stressed, you need to do this for your health. Although he's not telling you how it works for health, is he? No. He says you meditate, so you sit cross-legged or you lie down or you do something or you walk in the park, but it's not really, you have no idea where you're really going with this. The second one is for success. Now that sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? But a lot of people meditate because they want to be successful in life. They want to get the job. They want to be able to look after their family. They want a nice dress and a nice car. They'll even meditate on a parking spot where they can't see any. This is success. And it works. The third one is actually made famous by the Maharishi. It's TM. It means transcendental meditation. Now, transcendental meditation in my language is a meditation that transcends the states of consciousness. Can anyone tell me what states of consciousness are? No? They are the body, the mind, and the soul state. For those of you who think that's a bit hard, we can always say the spirit part of you, or the spiritual part of you, but actually the spiritual part of you is in the mind. Beyond the mind is a very deep state, which is the state of your soul, which is actually, if you want to get to know yourself, is the true you. It's the soul. And this is the one we teach at Samatha Yoga, but we also show you how to do this and the power of your mind. What you have to learn is the power of your mind. Does anyone think their mind's not really strong and powerful? It's really no good at all, is it? How many people think, gee, the mind, you know, God, I can't keep it still for 5 minutes. Does anyone feel that way? Okay, let me show you how to see how powerful your mind is. I want you to put the right hand on the left. Any of you students of Samatha Yoga? We do a pranayama in the class and we breathe in and we breathe out. This time what I want you to do is I want you to look at the palm of your hand. I want you to look at all the creases in there. I want you to know it's exactly your hand. And I want you to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to put all the energy of the breath into that palm. Breathe in, and you breathe out right into the palm of your hand. You to relax the breath. But can anyone tell me that if they felt something in the palm of their hand? Okay, can you tell me what it was?
Like a tingling.
Anybody else? Feel it tingling? Swirling? Anybody else? Heat? Cold? Well, what you've just done is something towards health, and you have contained your mind. Who was it couldn't keep the thoughts? Did you think of anything else but the palm of your hand at that point in time? Exactly. You meditated on the palm of your hand. And when you meditated on the palm of your hand, all your mind energies went into the palm of the hand. So it began to live, began to be lively. The energy in the palm of your hand came alive, because there is a chakra or a small energy point here that you've now started up. And you did all that in the space of a few seconds with the power of your mind. So all of us have a very strong, powerful mind. And that was because we concentrated. You have to concentrate in meditation. Now, what we have is we won't go into that. So we go with the physical body first of all, and then we have the mind. Now, we have a lower mind. So you think because all your mind's a bit messy, that's it. I'll clear it down, no more to worry about, is it? If we just get that out of the way, that's fine. It's not fine, because that's just the lower part of your mind that's been chatting. You've got plenty more bits and pieces in there of mind that will really put you off. Then you have a subconscious mind. So when you go to sleep, you have lots of dreams. Is that right? Yeah. Fiddles you around, you wake up, you don't know whether it's coming. What would be good if you would write those dreams down and try to work out where you got the information for those dreams. Because they will come out gobbledygook, but if you sort of work them out, those dreams, you will find they are from incidents that have happened either during that day or the day previously. Little bits and snippets have come out because your higher mind, your deep intelligence, your deep mind is just throwing the garbage out. And it looks like, if you've got your garbage bin and you throw it out in the big bin, from the house to the big bin, you can't sort of differentiate which day of rubbish is which. But if you got it out and laid it down, you say, oh, that's when I had tuna, that's when I had a sandwich, that's when, I emptied the sugar out and these sort of things. So that's what really happens in the subconscious mind. And we say this subconscious mind belongs to sort of the here and now. But there's another part of your mind which we call the sub-sub. What does sub mean? To me it means deeper, deeper, deeper. And we're going deeply into the mind. We don't have to go deep into the mind for this, do we? And even if we wanted success, we wouldn't really need to go deep. We really wanted that new outfit or that new pair of shoes, we could really concentrate on, see ourselves in it, and what the heck, all of a sudden get the tax return, don't tell anybody else, we nick $100 out of it and we've got the new shoes. So that's your success. Not much effort goes into that, but the peace of mind, getting to know yourself, a bit more effort's needed in that. So we come to a part of the mind that's deep within the subconscious mind, that for us is the part of the mind that holds all our traits and characteristics. You know, it's a part of the mind that is said that when two thoughts come in at the same time, at the same rate of vibration, does anyone believe that we all have a different vibration?
Yeah.
We're all okay with that? You want to feel yours?
Yeah.
Okay, rub your hands together. We're going to prove to you this meditation stuff's a bit of all right. Now I want you to concentrate on the middle of your hand and see if you can put your hands like this, do it, like this, and see if you can feel there's something inside. It's a little bit sort of bouncy, isn't it? Right? That's your vibration. We just woke you up a bit there and we've got that vibration going, but that's your vibration all the time. Now you leave your left hand straight and you move your right hand towards your left hand and concentrate on your left hand. There's something happening, isn't there? You have just become aware that you are vibration. And what happens is that you have pushed one bit of vibration through the other hand. You are able to push the vibration through and you could push it through again. And if I went like that, I could push that through and I could push it through again. Isn't that interesting? No? And if we felt our body, we'd have different vibrations here, there, as that vibration is a little bit off angle and it's not totally straight. We'd feel it because we'd feel different vibrations, different feelings. We should also know if we were ill, we had tummy problems or we had a leg problem because that leg around here would be very cold. You know, it's a bit cold. It's not right, and we'd know that our vibe wasn't correct. So here, when you're a vibration, you have a vibration that is sometimes quick, sometimes slow. What happens is a thought or an instant will come to you. And if it has the same vibration as a thought that has come previously, it will become solidified here in the subconscious state of mind. Now, haven't we all gone to walk on the road and thought, oh no, there's cars. And the next time we don't actually walk on the road where the cars are, do we? And this is automatic. It's automatic that we don't walk into a car. I saw a fellow go into a car once, I couldn't believe the guy. But you automatically don't walk across the road. You also don't get off the ship in the middle of the bay and start to try to walk across water home because you know that you can't do that, you'll sink. So this is all that's in here. This is all your fear, or your happiness, or your love, or your phobias, or your anxieties. They're all in here. And all of us have something like that stuck hidden away that we don't want to get through. And after that comes a little bit of space, and then in this mind comes your superconscious, which is the soul. That's all soul anyway. And then your God consciousness. Does anyone here believe in God?
Yeah.
To believe in a creator? We didn't sort of... Something must have started it all going. All right, so we have here these three. Now this is in the mind, and before we can get to the soul, what we have is a duality. If you are meditating as a Christian, you would naturally think the closest thing to God is Jesus. Is that right? If you're a Muslim, you would think the closest thing is Muhammad. If you were a Hindu, you wouldn't be quite sure because there's a lot. There's about 900, so you think to yourself, well, I'll just hang around till I get one that sort of will suit me. Anyone will do. But there's always a duality. There's God and me. That's a duality. But then comes a non-duality. We're not going to use any Sanskrit words anymore. We just try to spell out the... It's been a long day. The non-duality. Now, can anyone answer me if this is the duality, because it's all to do with meditation, by the way. So if you've got God and me, or God consciousness, or my creator and me, how do you get the non-duality? How does that become a reality?
Become one. Become one. God and me are one. Through meditation.
Right, God and me are one, but you can't get there, can you? You can't get there because we're talking now transcendental meditation, the meditation of enlightenment and to know yourself. We can't really get there because we can't even get to the soul because we've got no idea where it is. We know that if we can get here into this spot here, we're pretty much between our higher intelligence and our things that will stop us from meditating. But we can't get to the non-duality. And I think for any Christian, we could always say that, remember on the cross, Jesus said, Father, Father, hast thou forsaken me? So he knew that it was his Father, and he was soon to be one with his Father. Interesting, isn't it? In Muslims, Allah is everything, and of course the Hindus, they'll just jump on the back of any one of the 900 and something that they've got. So that's what we're trying to get to. This here is what we call ecstasy, isn't it? Is that how you, no, that's not how you spell it. Oh, quick. Quick. E-C, isn't it?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, nobody's been in it if you can't spell it.
E-C-S-T-A-C-Y.
Okay, ecstasy. So ecstasy is something that we have outside ourselves. Have you ever felt you had a bit of ecstasy when you realised that you had a vibration? When you realised the power of your mind was so strong it could heat up and begin the vibration in your... Was that a sort of ecstasy? You thought, wow. And here, if you have that duality in meditation, you think, wow, I've just found God. And that, him and me, we're really good friends. But if you have non-duality, you have ecstasy. And ecstasy means you stand within yourself and you have total consciousness. Now that's the end effect. We're still up here trying to get a park spot, right? So what we're going to do tonight is to go slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm going to take you into that spot. This one here. So you won't actually have tonight this. Well, we're hoping you're going to have tonight this top one here. Is there any questions so far? Because we get the questions out of the way every phase I go, it's much easier for us all. So is there any questions yet? Yes?
The ecstasy, can you explain that?
Yeah, ecstasy is when you are, it's from an outside experience, an experience outside of yourself. Ecstasy is an experience that is within yourself. Okay, does anyone know what within yourself really means? I want you all to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. I want you to visualize a beautiful rose just in front of you. Visualize a beautiful rose just in front of you. Now open your eyes. Did Daddy wish to visualize that? Everyone? It wasn't real, was it? It wasn't sitting in front of your nose and you weren't looking at it, was it? You have created that with the power of your mind. And it was inside your mind. And it was on such a level that it was inside your lower mind. And you created it. You maintained it while you watched it. And then you destroyed it. Such is the power of your mind. And that is standing within yourself. And that is a joy from within. That's what ecstasy means. It is a joy from within, from nothing outside. Right, now when you meditate, there's different ways of meditating. Can anyone tell me how they meditate? Stand on one foot, hanging onto the branch of the banyan tree. Is that how you meditate? How do you meditate? Anyone else? You lay down because you're too tired. Is that right? Sit. Put your feet up. Put the radio on. Get a bit of nice music. Anyone turn the radio on to have nice music? Thank goodness. Okay. So here you are. Here is your eyes. And here is your nose. And here is your mouth. Now, if you're meditating, you are needing to bring your awareness up here. Is that right? It's got to come into this area because finally that's the mind and that's the area that you spread out to. Here are two little, just at the bridge of the nose are two little nerve ends. So I want you all to look at the tip of your nose. And not going cross-eyed, but just look at the tip of your nose. Can't really see anything too good. You can't really even see the tip of your nose. You're just looking at the tip of your nose. Now just look at me. Feel a bit funny with your eyes? I feel a bit sort of weird? You've just massaged the nerve ends here that help this to clear. That's as simple as that. Now you've done two miraculous things tonight already and we haven't even meditated. So what we asked you to do, first of all, is to get that right. To get this centered. So I'm going to ask you to sit for meditation. And I don't care really where your hands are or anything at the moment, as long as your back's straight. And I want you to close your eyes. Because there is a myth going around by some yogi groups who specialise in meditation. And that is you meditate with your eyes open. If you meditate with your eyes open, you are not looking within. Therefore, you cannot examine your mind and you cannot go deep, deep within you. But you need to go to the deepest areas of your mind. Now, I want you with your eyes closed just to feel like you're concentrating on the tip of your nose. You just relax, you're just concentrating on the tip of your nose. And I want you to have a deep breath in. And out. through your nose if possible. Let's keep that going. We can feel the breath going in, and as we breathe out, there's a little bit of a vibe there going through the nose because we're keeping our attention at the tip of the nose. Just concentrate on the breath and the tip of your nose. I want you slowly to just relax that breath and no more breathing, and just open your eyes. How do you feel? Does anyone feel a bit different than they felt before they closed their eyes? Yep. Not everyone, but those who didn't, not going to tell me. And most of you feel just a bit different, because when you open your eyes, the room looked a bit different, didn't it? Well, you have had an altered state of consciousness. As easy as that. And how was the mind? Was that really going hell for leather while you were doing the breath? No, because you were concentrating, weren't you? And as you concentrated, you let go of the mind. You didn't worry about it. It just stopped. That's the concentration part. And it's very important that you do that. Now, if you had music going on or somebody telling you what to do, you would not have that peace of mind that you just had now. And if you want peace of mind, that's all you need to do. But you want a little bit more than that. So once you close your eyes and open them again, you found that the state was altered. You went from the physical state, oh, we haven't got it anymore. So you went from the physical state to the mental state of consciousness. No stress, wasn't it? Nothing. You just went very quickly there. Now what we're going to do is for health. We'll do a little meditation for health just here and now. I don't mind how you sit for the one of health as long as you are comfortable. If you need to, put your back to a wall, but just be comfortable. Don't sit on your legs this time, okay? Because if you sit on your legs, all your vibration will go in the upper part, and I want it to move all the way through. Now I want you to close your eyes again. Now you know I'm not going to do anything to you, see? Well, you've got your eyes closed, everything is fine. So just close your eyes, begin that breath, concentrate on the nose, through the nose, begin the breathing. Don't strain the breath, just breathe in and out, quite normally, only through the nose. Now I want you to forget about the breath, and I want you to run your whole mind through your body. Just scan your inside of your body to see if there is anything hurting you. And when you've done that, open your eyes. Did anyone have any pain? Nearly everyone, no? Because when we're watching TV, when we're running around, when we're working, when we're doing lots of things, when we're having a chat, we've totally forgotten about the poor old body. It just tags along. But when we're very still and we're very quiet, our body tells us it's not happy. It's got a little bit of dis-ease. It could get very sick if it has this dis-ease in it. So what you're going to do now, as you did before, with the power of your mind, you're going to try to push away this problem. This is the help. This is a meditation that is not very deep, but it's very powerful and very strong. So close your eyes again. Begin your breathing. Begin with your concentration on the tip of your nose or in the head. Now, just relax that concentration on the tip of your nose and find that part of your body that's feeling a little bit upset, is giving you a little bit of pain. Hold your concentration on it, and then when you're ready, I want you to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, breathe through that pain. Just breathe through it. Just when you're ready, open your eyes again. Did anyone feel that they had overcome that problem within their body? You only had about 5 minutes, so if you had any longer, you certainly could have got the end of it totally. But did you see that it has an effect? Now, even if you have a headache, that's the way to go. Before you go for the Bex or the aspirin or whatever it is that you take, or heaven forbid the ibuprofen or whatever that's going around, wouldn't it be better if you could sit for a few moments and just breathe into that pain? Now, if you breathe into the pain, you're actually dissipating it. It's a vibration. It's a blocked bit of energy that's not going to go anywhere and it's going to get worse. But if you take it as blocked energy or blocked vibration and you use the vibration of the breath to push through it, it's going to unclog and move away, isn't it? Stands to reason. I mean, we do it with the loo, with a bit of Drano or whatever. So let's do it with the breath to that part of the body that's blocked as well. And it might, you might have a little, notice a bit of a kick or something when you go like this all of a sudden. That is actually the energy just dissipating and leaving you, which is quite normal. So therefore you have control over your body. So already you've learned that you can control your body and to a certain degree your health. Is that right? Now when you go into meditation, what you do first of all is you scan the body. Because your 5 minutes of meditation is going to go into a lot longer and you'll find yourself maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour in meditation. So what you've got to learn to do is check that the body's okay. Because, you know, it's as we were talking in the car, it's got to last us a long time these days. You can't just cop out anymore when you're 70 or 66 or something, which used to be a good time. To sit down and say, oh, I just can eat what I like now and drink what I like and watch what I like and do what I like because I've only got 4 years to go, so who cares? Now we've got a much longer lifespan, so we've got to, you know, make sure that the body keeps going with us. Are there any questions you would like to ask me now?
I have trouble, and I've talked about it with Gail. I have a swallowing problem. I always feel like I need to swallow, and that breaks my meditation. And it's obviously because I'm trying too hard. I don't know.
No, it's not because you're trying too hard.
Swallowing,
It's a vibrational thing. When you begin to meditate, or when you do meditate, your vibration goes up. It goes higher. So you could get a bit warmer, or you might feel a bit straighter, or you'll be swallowing. And that's okay, because See, in our body, has anyone ever heard of chakras here? Energy centers. Chakra means wheel of energy. Okay, so a chakra is actually like that before you meditate. Right? So it's sort of not doing much. Chakras, you know, you don't go around like a flaming torch. Most of the time you go around looking a bit grey and a bit drab. So everything's sort of down and all droopy. But when you meditate, this fellow comes up here and comes out. Oh, that's wrong. This chakra puts its head up and here, and it starts beautifully moving. This one's going very slow. Right? But here now it's really bright, it's really moving. So your vibration is going up. So what happens is if your vibration goes up, the energies start to go up because you're feeling really good. So it's going up and your awareness is going to come eventually into this area here because this is the mind area. You know it because you've been told it, that your mind's here. It's not in your big toe. It's nowhere else, it's here. So you know that you're going to be thinking in this way. So what happens? You begin swallow because there's a lot of secretion happens at this time. And this is so this is the shoulders. This is when it starts, your vibration starts to come into this area here. That's where you get that. Now, this is telling you a bit of a secret, but once you get into that really high stage, it has a taste. And that, you know, when you start swallowing, the taste is like, it's really sweet. It's like a fragrant sort of taste. So your saliva then changes into this, once you start getting into deep meditation. But you're doing pretty well actually to have the swallowing thing happening. So you are concentrating, even so you haven't thought you were. I think it's very good that you are doing that. Now, is there anyone else who gets emotional, who gets really worried, who gets sort of... Okay, so what's your worry when you're in meditation? Or what could be the worry?
Just opening myself up too much to be exposed to something, to be vulnerable.
So, what do you open yourself up to, and who are you vulnerable to when you're asleep?
No one.
Of course, of course you're not. It's the fear. It's just fear.
Yeah.
And this is, you know why the fear is? Remember we had the mind? Remember I talked about that, and we had the lower mind, which by the way, yogis think is here. It's physical mind. So if someone punches you right in here, you can have a concussion of this area. It's a medical thing. But yogis could have told me 25,000 years ago that's physical mind sort of dwelling in this area. But that's going on to some other workshop, but just keep that in mind, right? And so then you go to your subconscious, which you pretty well get through when you're meditating. After about, 15 minutes, you'll calm down. And that's when you will start swallowing. About 10, 15 minutes in, you'll start swallowing. That's when meditation really begins. So that's when you get afraid in here. Because in here, in this deep part of your subconscious, is something that needs to come out. And what you're doing is suppressing it. So don't worry about it. It can't hurt you. You've already had it. It can't hurt you. So there's something that you've wanted to forget that you've pushed really deep inside, and that will come up because that is blocking you from getting, anywhere higher. You've got to get through it. Now, you might have it in deep, deep, deep sleep, and you will want to forget it, so you will forget it. So although your mind's trying to throw it out, you don't want it thrown out because you want to forget it. So actually, even so in a dream or a nightmare that you cannot remember, it's come out, you'll block it. You'll block it from knowing it. But here you see, part of you knows that you have to look at it and throw it away.
It's been affecting me even with speaking.
Speaking and breathing, yeah.
singing, I'm actually starting to break through the emotion. So, and I've learnt that that's because I'm altering the vibrations. So, is it?
Yeah.
But
it's going to come
something
up.
that exists
It's going to.
inside,
It
doesn't
exists still, and it's going to come up.
Right.
Right. So you've got it. Meditation wouldn't hurt you just to meditate and just keep everything sort of free, waiting for it to come out.
Because that it holds you back.
Hold you back from everything. From everything. Yeah. And someone else here has a bit of fear when they go into meditation. Anyone going to own up to it, or you know?
Sometimes, not always, but sometimes when I meditate, I become aware, it feels to me that I'm not breathing. And whether that's like a physical thing or a bit of a panic thing, but I feel like I have to take a deep breath. And sometimes I don't think I feel that I have been in meditation and I'm distracted from, or something happens and I'm not sure what it is.
Do you have that problem when you're asleep?
I don't think so. No, I do know people talk about that way, but no, it doesn't. I don't think that does happen to me.
So just go through it. Just even if you have it, stay in meditation, but just breathe.
Yes.
Just concentrate back on your breath, and you'll get through it slowly. You don't have to go into some deep meditation. All you need to do is get rid of that feeling. So when you do go into meditation, it starts, just breathe, breathe here like we were doing before. Just breathe till you calm down, and then let it go again. Okay? And that will stop. But this is the part that gets everyone, because this is the part that's a bit tricky to get through. It really is. Now, you've got to watch the time. I don't want you to do a meditation and have you race out and have something to read. Most people going into meditation are afraid. There's no doubt about that. I used to be afraid. I wouldn't find my way out. I might have to live in India and get all my teeth extracted. And all sorts of things that used to get on my mind in the meditation. Or, I've got to find this Krishna inside me. God, where is he, I just can't handle it all. So I sort of learned how to sit up and sleep. Very good. Except that every now and again you slid down the line. It wasn't too good. But it's difficult to meditate, I understand that. But there are a few rules that have to be. You can't meditate when you've had alcohol. Why can't you meditate when you've had alcohol? Does anyone tell me? It affects your mind. It alters the state of your mind. You shouldn't meditate just after you've had something to eat. Nor should you meditate when you're very hungry. Doesn't work either. Let me have a look at that. So you have no alcohol. You have no food. Anything else you can think of?
Drugs.
Oh yeah, no drugs. Should you meditate when you're angry? Why should you meditate when you're angry?
Negative.
It's very negative, but it will make the negativity more so, because when you meditate, everything becomes much more subtler, much more vibration is in it, and so you will perpetuate the anger. So never, never while angry. Because your mind will begin really, going to meditation, I'll meditate and I'll get it. So you go to meditation, your mind goes, hey, did you know what so-and-so said about her? And you think to yourself, no, I didn't. And all of a sudden, you've committed mass murder on a grand scale, and all you were trying to do was meditate. But you can't while you are angry. You must have quiet. Can anyone tell me why you need to be quiet when you meditate? That too. Sound has vibration. So if you haven't taken the telephone off the hook and you're meditating, the telephone will go off and someone has got to ring 000 to peel you off the ceiling because you're going to be so... something's happened, right? Because in the beginning, you can't meditate when there's a loud noise. If I started a jackhammer out here, had a few trucks, concrete trucks going past, you'd have no hope of meditating. Once you've been doing it for many, many years, that outside is not going to worry you at all. But in the process of your learning, it will have a very great effect on your nerves. All right? So you need to be quiet. 6, should you meditate on the train? Too many other vibes on the train, isn't there?
Yeah.
You don't know where they've been. Literally, you don't know where they've been. So why should you meditate with them? And the other thing is that should you meditate in a group? Say you go to Anne's house and she says, oh look, Charlie and me, we're going to meditate. Do you want to come around? And I'll invite Bertie and Frida. You don't know where they've been either, do you?
No.
I mean, really? Probably Bert's been down the pub all afternoon. No, when you're doing your meditation, you do it either with, with your teacher or in your group or whatever you do. You do your meditation and you do it alone at home. It's very important. So you meditate alone. Now let me tell you, every time I see a whiteboard and I'm writing on it, I think that word isn't spelt like that. Even alone I was thinking, is that right? Okay, so when you're meditating, it's better to find some place in the house that is not too dark, not too light, a place that's nice and airy, and a place that smells nice. Because everything is going to be heightened. So you wanted to have it smelling nice. You don't want to be sitting in some crammed area of the house that has got all these statues and things around it and heaven only knows what, because you've got nothing to do with the outside. You're going to meditate inwardly, where it's all happening. So you need to be alone in an airy place somewhere in your house, and it needs to be always the same place. Can anyone tell me why it's got to be always the same place? Because you set that up as your little refuge, and that's yours. Even if it's only your cushion. But don't let the cat or the dog sleep there during the day, because their vibration is just too gross and too low for you to get into a good meditation, because you're likely to pick up the vibration of the dog when you're in it. Does anyone sit in spiritual circles meditating here?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
If you're going to do a meditation like the one we're doing tonight, then don't do that in those circles, because it can be very dangerous. Most of those circles are not run by people who know what to do.
Why is it then it's alright to do it here? Why is it alright to do it here when we're here?
This room is used only for these purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's got a good
It's got a good vibe in it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And your little place at home will. Although I know a lady years ago who had 12 children, and she was a minister in the spiritualist church. And I said, Ivy, where do you meditate? She said, oh, in the loo. It's me, in the loo, And she said, yes, the only place I can get quiet. So she locks herself down the backyard in the loo and puts sort of a big piece of wood on it, clonk, and she was locked to the outside world, and she was able to get on with things as well as meditating. So that was fantastic. So now we know there's no alcohol, no food, no drugs, never in anger. You have to do it quiet, you have to do it alone, you have to have your special spot. We'll put that down there, your special place. No animals or anything like that around, because that will upset you. There's another rule. Does anyone know it? No sex. Did anyone say? Someone's got to be tantric here? No wonder we're all hot. Okay, no sex. We'll put it down because it's very valid. So no sex.
I was going to say not before you go to sleep.
It's okay before you go to sleep.
I find that energizes me, and so I find if I do it in the morning.
Some people it helps them to sleep. I wouldn't be too energized. I'm energized anyway all the time, so I've got to say now sleep and then I'll sleep. But yes, some people find it easier to go to sleep. We'll show you a way of going to sleep anyway. Okay, so you definitely know sex. We're not into the tantric bit. So definitely not, because that would really keep you in the body and the lower mind, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. Now we're going to stop. Has anyone got any questions so far? Because this is our bit of theory, and afterwards we're going to get real.
What was the other point, Swami?
What? No sex?
You
Right with that?
other than that. You said there was one more thing. Did I miss it?
Is it not in the sun?
No. Not in the sun. You don't do it in the sun. What are you mumbling back there? So what was the last one we had? Meditation's good for the memory. When? When I heard sex, it just went out the door. Look, just keep your mind free.
Is it like don't meditate, like some people like will meditate on flying or something like that?
That's right.
Is that what the last one we're doing?
Yeah. Because some people will meditate on a candle. Some people will meditate on a rose. I knew talking out of turn now, but I knew a yoga teacher who used to always get me to go to her meditation things. We've known each other for years. So I went this time, she said, I've got this plan. I keep all the 1 cent pieces. Oh, I said, good. I thought, oh, well, what else? Who do you want, 1 cent pieces? So she handed them all out before meditation, and I looked at it and she said, now you have to lick it and stick it here. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so I lacked it, I licked it, stuck it here, and went into meditation. It kept falling off, so I was afterwards she said, isn't that a good idea? That keeps them all concentrating on here. I said, but you're supposed to be going within, aren't you? I sort of got, so, whatever turns you on. But keep your mind free. So I don't advise to meditate on music, because music can change your vibration. Don't meditate after having watching a crimi on telly. Because these things are readily then, they haven't been worked off. Best is first thing in the morning, that's true. But if you can't do that, then in the evening's okay. That's before you go to telly and have your glass of wine and eat your roast meat. Keep the mind free. Also books sometimes. Do you know that reading a book can raise your blood pressure? Watching television can raise your blood pressure. You can even have a heart attack if you're watching something really gruesome, like 60 Minutes or something like that, or the news. So keep your mind free. It must be free. Also, it's good if you go and wash your face and hands in some cold water and clean your teeth and rinse your mouth. And if you're swallowing a lot, Rochelle, you will know that that is a good thing to do. Huh? What did I say?
So if I'm swallowing a lot, it's a good thing to do, brush your teeth, wash your hands.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, if you wash your hands in cold water up to here, you release a lot of negative energy that you've picked up, an enormous amount of negative energy. And rinsing your mouth out with cold water will actually activate everything internally that will start the ball rolling. It's really wonderful.
Can I just...
Yeah, there were questions. Yeah.
So you said keep your mind free.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I was taught through Christianity is that in the Bible it says like meditate on my word, and it's not like, that's where I get confused, because they say that you shouldn't really you've got to be careful not to meditate on something, and then there's a bit of confusion there. I think you're trying to explain that you're supposed to allow yourself to go in, maybe, but is that just a...
Well, in our way of doing it, it's got a heart, so. This is your heart, isn't it? Now, if you were doing a Christian meditation, who would be the closest to God you had? Who would it be? Jesus. Yeah. So why couldn't you put Jesus in your heart? Yeah. And why couldn't you then begin knowing that Jesus was there and that he loved you very, very much, the same as you loved him? And wouldn't his loving vibration raise yours as well? So you put your favourite picture of Jesus in your heart. And that goes for everybody. You put the one that you feel closest to, love the most, that's closest to God in your heart. Not the $10 bill or the $100 bill. It's got to be someone a bit more godly than that. Okay, now you asked the question too, Louise?
Is it good to meditate after exercise, like we do in class? Because we do most of the exercise.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so that we can get you through those three states of consciousness, quick, smart. But we don't. In class, we give you a meditation that's probably about 20 minutes long, but it's not quite. It's just to keep you, if there's any problems or that we can teach you how to do it and keep you going. Not necessarily. Sometimes after meditation you feel so hot and you really need to perhaps have a rest. I would suggest that you did after meditation the relaxation, and then at a different time your meditation. You don't need to do exercise before meditation. Mm-hmm.
You said the meditation makes us hot, and then exercise.
Makes you hot too.
And the meditation increases your heat as well.
A lot of things that increase your heat. Any other question? There was another question. Who was it? Was it you? Yeah. Lisa.
I managed to get to a phenomenal place meditating, and that made me hooked. But most of the time now, I get to almost that place, and it's like my voice says, "Yeah, you're there," and then of course
You're losing it because
I'm
you're
because I'm
interfering.
really excited about it.
And you're interfering.
Yeah.
That's why. That's where we'll go to, where we sit down after. We'll go into that and we'll show you how not to do that. And Rochelle, you had a question to me, no?
I live in Torquay, and quite often you see people, might be first thing on a Sunday morning, I take my dogs for a walk, they'll be sitting on a rock, meditating. And that goes against nearly, I wouldn't say all, but half of them. Like, it's not quiet. They're not in the place of their own, they're in an open space. Is it like cleansing meditation?
No, it's just because they want everyone to see they meditate.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
they're not really going to get anywhere. He's now the ex-brother-in-law who used to meditate on a rock, but used to look at the rock, meditate on the rock. I couldn't believe he meditated on a rock, a big rock, in his farm. Well, what turns you on? I mean, if you want to meditate on the rock, or for the rock, or to the rock, or I guess you might be a rock in your next life. You've got such an affiliation to it. I don't know, but it's not good for meditation.
You think it's all show?
I think most of it's show.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. And I've just been in India for 4 weeks, so let me tell you, it's show. Any other questions? I can show you how to do the outward meditation, that is okay, but no one would know you were doing it. Even while you walked with your dogs, if you walked with the breath, breathing in, left foot, right foot, breathe in, breathe out, and keep going with the Soham mantra, you'd be amazed how great you felt after you'd finished your walk with the dogs. And that is what we call an outward meditation, because we're not going in. You see, we're still going out, we're still part of the world. The world doesn't know, we're not sitting there, counting our happiness beads or whatever. So that's a good way of outward meditation, but not sitting in a park doing it. Or sitting on the beach, Everyone has to dig around you because you're, it's not real meditation. And that's a shame, because that's why the world is like it is today. No one does it purely.
So it's like a materialistic thing.
That's right. Any other questions before we stop? Yes.
You were saying about spiritual circles. What
Mhm.
do you mean by that in particular sort of groups, or do you mean that any group meditation is not good unless the teachers have been trained in the right way?
I was just lecturing a whole lot of people who were asking me to go to their meditation circle. I have to say this very carefully because I don't want to put any negativity to anyone, but this is a meditation involving astral spheres. And if you are not au fait with astral spheres, and if you do not understand the universal laws completely, you will become very negative, and you could even become possessed. And I'm one of those unfortunate people who have to fix these people up afterwards. And I have greatest respect for true spiritualism. I have been to England, and I have met and meditated with the Casey people. I've meditated with many of these true masters, but I have never found anyone to be as good or as knowledgeable as those people. So I get a lot of invitations, but I don't think that they quite know what they're about.
So is it a meditation that's to do with astral planes that is...
And astral entities too. And let's face it, that's what it's about. And I think that if you don't know what you're doing, you're endangering even those unembodied souls. So if you really know what you're doing, take my hat off to you. But if you don't, it's not very good to disturb those realms.
Is this what meditation is, though?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's not meditation. That's called channeling. And channeling is not meditation. You're not channeling anything at all.
So, like, it's just a personal thing, and it's
Yeah,
it's
very
like
private. Meditation is sort of private, and
it's sort of like getting in touch with ourselves.
Yeah.
And just getting some
you're getting in touch with your
this
higher self, your
wholeness.
soul.
Right.
Yeah, and you're becoming a person who will be able to, face things that happen to you.
Because I feel that, you get to a point that you realise that we are the three entities, but
Yeah.
they haven't, they feel so
They don't know each other.
disconnected. Yeah, and so it's like going and shaking hands with the three and starting to become a one.
Say, hi, here I am.
Yeah. So is that what?
Absolutely. Look,
Stuff.
let me tell you a very personal thing. A couple of years ago, I was in hospital and I was dying. I had a very horrific operation, and when I came out of it, of course they hook up all the computers and drips and drops and everything around you, and you've got to press your button for the pethidine or whatever it is and press something else. And I said, just leave me alone. Because I've been doing this for many, many years, and I knew that I'd become dislocated. My body wasn't any good. My soul itself had become extreme trauma. So what I did was I got into the middle state, a state of, it was neither one nor the other, and I focused on both to heal them and bring them into balance. Now, I needed a lot of time. I didn't know every time someone came in, now you know, we're going to have a little chat because you've got to keep hitting this button, you're not hitting it for the pain. I said, you're bringing me pain. Go out. Leave me alone. I'm fine. And I was able to balance it all up and eventually get out of there. But see, that is what this meditation's about. You're right, to connect it all together. Because if you connect all of yourself together, if you get rid of all your fears and your inhibitions, you're a real person. Then if you're a real person, your vibration has come up. You live life as you really should be living life. Fully. 100%. Have a bad time, have a good time, have a stress time, have a Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4, your stress day, then everything's right. But what you are doing is you are raising the vibration of the planet and then the universe. So if you're going on a peace march, forget it, because you'll only get tired. All you have to do is meditate. And by making yourself, your vibration up, you'll lift the whole world. Now that to me is better than anything else. If I can become complete, then, and if everyone meditates with this aim in mind to find themselves and to become complete, then it's...
Is there, you talk about it and it sounds like you're talking about that it gives a power, and it's a positive power.
Yes, it's empowering.
Very present too that there's so much negative energy present around, and you're talking about that in terms of what we do is by doing this, creating that positive energy. We need so much more of that.
Absolutely.
Present.
It's very empowering to meditate correctly. You know, because then you come true to balance. Now the whole world is really out of balance, isn't it? And everyone's running up, waving flags, saying peace, peace, peace. Get out of my spot! You know, I had more problem than you did. Is this a peace march? No. It's like when people used to come to my retreats. And we had nice vegetarian food, we had everything laid on, no coffee of course, everything laid on for them, and they went out of the retreat directly to Macca's, had a Big Mac and a cup of coffee. Isn't that right, Gail? Never. But it's the same thing. You know, that's our God we've got to pick on. But that's the thing, isn't it? But if we meditate and we're whole, don't you think the people around us also will think, gee, there's something different to you? Your face is clearer, your complexion's brighter.
Will we attract more positiveness?
Absolutely.
And can we dispel the negativeness?
Absolutely. Just with the breath. Like I did before with the pain, you can dispel that just the same way with the breath. I don't need it.
Great.
And your higher vibration will anyway, disempower that negative vibration. All right, is there any more questions before we go?
We really couldn't hear, but we thought she said, do you attract positive men? And we like the idea.
I already did that one.
Yes, that's what we thought you said.
3 points becoming the one. What level of consciousness is that?
It's your highest.
It's the highest.
It's the highest, yeah. Now you get past the sub, you get to super.
So
Yeah, you're super conscious. And
It's
if you get
possible.
to God conscious, it's unexplainable. So thank you very much. Let's have a little break. And you're probably all very hot, so we can open the door. Thank you. All right, well thank you for coming back. I hope you haven't eaten too much. So now we're going to go into meditation. So I want you first of all to get the position that you would normally meditate in at home. If it's with your back to the wall or if it's without, that's fine. Don't cross your legs unless you can really hold it. Because now it's getting tough. Oh, it's nice here. You ought to be okay. Are you all right, Mike, with your legs crossed? Sure? That's a good idea. Watch the head there, In yoga, when we meditate in this position which we call the siddha pose or the easy pose. Now, far be it from me to have anything that's pretty difficult. So, this is how I like it to be. Heel, heel, and that heel should be right tucked in here. That's the one. And it should be level with your navel and level with your nose. But not on top of each other. That's the way men meditate. Women meditate with them loose. And that's not even necessary for meditation, but it's necessary for your everyday life. Now I want you to hang your hands over your knees. Just let them relax up. Don't you feel all a bit sort of hanging? You don't feel right, isn't it? If they're hanging down, you feel a bit hangy, it's not really right, is it? Well, I hope it's not right, because remember the chakra that's hanging down? Well, you're hanging down now. Okay, so we've got that hanging down. Now let's just pull them up, and there's a different feeling, isn't there? Is that, you all feel a different feeling? This feeling is called a mudra in Sanskrit. You don't need to worry about Sanskrit, but what it means, your attitude changed. Did you feel that your attitude changed when you moved your hands? You're getting ready for something. You're feeling a bit stronger, you're a bit more alert. You've got to remain alert. You just can't go off on some white dove to Never Never Land when you meditate. You've got to be right on the ball with meditation. I want you to take a few breaths. Keep that little abdominal muscle there just a little bit tucked in, just at the beginning. I want you to get used to that, because that's a very important for you ladies with your bad backs. Now put your index finger and your thumb together. Who has meditated and not put index finger and thumb together? Maybe put the middle finger together, or like this, or like this, or like this. If you put your index finger and your thumb together, you can not actually take a shallow breath. What you are doing is you are forcing your lungs to take an abdominal breath. If you take an abdominal breath, so we don't have to worry, we don't have to do this, we don't have to concentrate on our abdomen. All we have to do is put the index finger and the thumb together. Now I want you to take a breath. You feel it's a bit hard to get it here? You just have to feel that breath just a little bit more to get it up here. That's because you've closed off this part of your lungs and you've only kept the lower open. And this having the lower open, this means that you actually can slow things down. Now, I once said slow down the metabolism, and this fellow thought he had to go to the doctor because he thought I was going to kill him. He slowed down his metabolism, he'll drop dead. But actually, didn't quite mean for him to drop dead. I meant for him to just relax and let it all happen. One thing you have to do is remain absolutely alert. It's like being asleep but being mindful. Doesn't matter what happens, just watch. Now I'm going to talk you into this, which I normally wouldn't do, but we've gone through the first stages, so let's just again, index finger and thumb together. Close your eyes. tip of the nose. Make sure that you're really relaxed, that your spine is straight and your head's erect. Begin the breath, take a deep inward breath through the nose. And as you breathe out, just direct that breath inside the body. Feel it going all the way down inside the body to the buttocks. Breathing in, as you breathe out, you direct that breath down. Now release the breath and scan your body. Now release the body. Be aware of your mind. Be aware of the thoughts. Now move beyond the thoughts, beyond the thoughts. Beyond your thoughts stands the one you love, the one that's your closest to God. Face this one, Jesus, Muhammad, the one that you find closest to your God in your heart. And meditate on this profound love. should ask you any questions now because no one will have any questions. We won't do that to you. I want you now to bring your arms up, and I want to, very slowly, I want you to bring your arms up within 6 centimetres of the body and bring them down. Make sure I do it very slowly, and you might just feel a little tingle. Bring it all the way down to your pelvis, right hand on the left on the pelvis, both there. We'll do it 3 times. Just make sure that those little chakras are all tucked up again. And as you come down and bring that energy down, you can almost feel them fold up again. This is part of the protection process. Now, are there any questions? Did anyone have a peaceful meditation?
Can you just explain the chakras, because they would have been open in this state of meditation, and have we now closed our chakras, or do we have to visualise that we've actually closed them off?
You've done it. Now, if I wanted to tell you just a little bit about them, it'd probably take me about 3 hours. So there will be, or there should be, a workshop on chakras, which probably would interest you quite a bit. And I normally, where are you from? Geelong?
I'm moving there in October, but I'm here in northern suburbs here.
All right, do you come to our classes?
No, I normally go to Geelong.
Yeah.
To keep.
Oh, good. So, are you giving any chakra
We've
workshops?
just given one a couple of weeks ago, but we'll probably do another one.
Next party, yeah. And
Well,
then what do you want?
Samata Samashti Dharma with seminars have got your chakra.
First one, has it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so if you're interested in that, I teach it. But it's very interesting. If you're interested in meditation and that sort of thing, it's very interesting to look at the chakras. I actually was teaching that in India too, just recently.
I think the important thing that I want to know is that after having reading meditation that, that it's safe now.
You're safe,
And
absolutely.
that, that I'm okay.
That's why this happens, but it must be within 6 centimetres of the body and it must be slow. And actually you feel nice tingling as you do it. And that is, all those centres are closed off. It's quite safe.
So that's what's happening in the meditation, that the chakras are opening up. And
Yes,
it's
and they're going at their correct velocity.
Right.
So they're all working perfectly balanced. It's only when you start to fidget or start to think, oh God, how long is it, and all the rest of it, that they will then go out of balance. But when you're in that state of meditation where nothing matters, you're just totally concentrated on whatever's happening, they're all perfectly balanced. And you feel a little bit serene when you come out of them. You feel really nice. Yeah. Everybody else? Yes.
If meditating at home, I do it early in the morning. And I need to have an end to it. Like, how do I? I'm just worried if I'm meditating, I have to get up and get the kids up and go to work. So if I don't use music, which I use at the moment,
Just tell yourself,
20 minutes, half an
I'm
hour.
here for 20 minutes, that's all. And you'll be amazed that within that, exactly on that 20-minute point, you'll get up, you'll be okay. Anybody else? Yes?
Swami, is it alright to let go of visualisation of your God?
Absolutely.
And how do you know when to do that?
It'll happen. Yeah?
With the idea of taking a person into your heart, what if there's no intermediary between
that you can love. You know, if you love God, it's more or less an intangible thing. You can't. Can you visualize God? See, so really you need to have someone that is really you think is godly or a prophet or what we call an avatar. Because you need love in meditation. Love yourself. Love God. Know yourself. Know God.
So how do people, if there's not any religion that has it?
You don't need religion to be spiritual.
So how does a person find a person?
Well, if someone has got initiated by me, they would find me. But if someone, feels that, they've already established their connection with God, then that's what they do. But remember that this connection has to be outside our dimension. So it can't be your great-grandmother who died, and you don't know. It can't be the north wind. It can't be the sun. Because they're all physical. It has to be something that's godlike. And not a tree or a mountain.
Not the nature?
No. Because we believe that everything in nature is evolving the same as you. So you may as well put Tiziana, that's a Baltic name, isn't it? Tiziana in your heart, if you wanted to put something of nature. God is beyond nature because God created nature.
So basically meditation won't work if you are an atheist. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it doesn't matter if you're an atheist to meditate, but what you have to find out is some creator. And if you're believing in something in nature, then you're not really an atheist, are you?
No, and I'm trying to find a substitute
Yeah.
for this God thing
Yeah, that's
you're
what
talking
that's
about.
that's
But
how
in
I'm
my
trying
life,
to
I don't
explain it.
need one, so why do I need one to meditate?
Well, a certain time comes when you do need that, because meditation is okay. We talked tonight about different meditations, but we talked about transcendental, to go through the states of consciousness. If you want to go all the way, you would need something spiritual. I'm not saying religious, I'm saying something spiritual. But if you want it also to go all the way, then you have to realise there's something beyond. There's some great love in the universe that keeps the universe going. If I created the universe and I looked around today, I'd get a big rubber and rub it all out and start again. So, thank goodness I didn't create it, but some creator did. Some conscious energy did create the universe and perpetuates the universe.
So if a person doesn't believe in, say, Jesus or Muhammad, does that mean you need to find a meditation teacher so as to use them?
Not necessarily. I had a girl who used to meditate and she used to put an electric light on. So she had a bright light inside. And all thought that was pretty good. Because, through the bright light.
So that's different from using an object.
Well, it's I would say not as good, but as I think it's okay if that's how you want to go. I just think it would be wrong of you to think of something in nature. My personal belief is that all of nature is evolving. And I really believe that some trees are more evolved than a lot of us. Because they're not jumping around killing, are they? They're just sitting there letting everyone belt hell out of them. Isn't that true? They don't mind the little offspring around their legs. We have to think that if you want to go very deep into meditation, you have to think about things. Really think about things. What do we do just before we're dying? We usually call out for mother. I think it's 99.9% of people who are meeting the electric chair or who are going to get the injection, or probably have faced Madame Guillotine, have called out for mum. Probably hated mother all their life, but right when the end comes, it's mum. Or, oh God, what's going to happen to me now? I know of a fellow who just realised that he's 72 and he decided to race out and get a Bible because he's been an atheist all his life. Now he's scared that what's going to happen to him when he dies. There's personal things we have to think about, you know, really. But I think the white light, if you have nothing else, then a white light is pure, isn't it? And there is, when you die, there will be a white light. So at least you can be affiliated with that, and that will help. Anyone else with a question? There was another question somewhere, wasn't it?
There was one thing to ask, could you visualise rather, because I'm having trouble with the Creator, can you visualise the universal love rather than a figure?
No problem. Because that's what it all is.
So it's just love.
It's a love vibration, yeah. Of course it is.
But is it better to have a teacher to use them rather than the abstract idea of God alone?
Well, some teachers I wouldn't put in the garbage bin. So I can't tell you yes there, can I? Because that's, you know, you have to
That's
really
the right
find
teacher.
one that you think is pretty godly. Because that is also a person who, you know, do they deserve it? So you'd be better off with your white light, I think, or thinking of you know, extreme love. Something like that. There's always a tricky point that meditation teachers hardly ever talk about. That's why transcendental meditation is taught differently to what I taught it tonight. But eventually one day you have to realise that there is a control. Was everyone comfortable? Did everyone tell the truth that that's how they normally go? That's how they... Oh, you didn't tell the truth.
I had to move.
I
I
know.
couldn't do it.
That's right. You didn't have your hands right either, so
No, I
that's
know,
what
because
happened.
I was trying to line myself up like you said,
That's right.
and I thought this is so not me.
No, it's not
I
you.
was not
I can
comfortable.
see that. And what you've done is you've put your whole bottom on a seat.
I know, and I don't normally do that either.
No.
I don't normally use a cushion,
No.
but everyone else was.
Now you put your whole bottom on the seat too, and so have a few. Whole bottoms don't go on these seats. These little cushions are for different reasons. May I lift up your... Oh, well, you've cheated, haven't you? So it just goes under the coccyx here. Come down. See that? Tell us that you're quite comfortable.
Definitely more comfortable.
If you just put that under the coccyx and lift it up, you'll find that you'll automatically, your spine will be straight and you won't feel any weight in your spine or in your buttocks at all. Understood? But if you sit your whole bottom on a seat, you're going to feel a bit, you feel it and it'll sort of be a weight. And that's not what we're here for. And so you fit.
Everybody else was doing it.
And don't...
She's one of my students.
Oh, that'll be right. So, let's remember that. Did you feel that's different when you just pulled it out? It was a different. So, it's much easier that way. Even if you had your cushion with you go and you just pulled yourself forward, you would find yourself a lot You're steady. And also you don't fold your legs in that nice little pose that where you stick your big toe around your back, right? And what they call that nice lotus position or half lotus position is not necessary, because just having your feet like that, you actually allow the flow to move easier, much easier. Or you have your legs out in front of you and your back to a wall. And even if you had your back to the wall, Rochelle, you would just put that cushion just on your coccyx, and it would even your back against the wall would be not as tired as it was.
Should the blood be totally like, there's like a little uncomfortable.
Well, you have to get used to it.
The vibration, like, could be
It's better for the
restrictions
vibration.
or-
No, there's no restriction in that vibration. And also, you can't fall. So if you've got one of these behind you, just, yes, all right, we'll just stick it underneath your coccyx. That's it. Right, now sit nice and straight. Don't come so forward, that's why I pushed you back. Okay, now, can you fall? No. See? Sometimes in meditation you'll have a bit of you feel like you're rocking like this and really you're not doing anything. But this will make you feel a bit, oh, I can fall. And you might fall. But in this position here that you're in now, you will not fall. It's a very steady position. All right? And so I think that's about it.
You sure?
I don't know.
You're going for another round.
No, I'm over time. It's because you had too much mid-meal there. There's no more questions you'd like to ask Karen now?
Just one. Sometimes my neck feels like it's stretching. Like, yeah, I feel extended. I feel like I'm standing up straight.
Yes, that is actually, that's actually a vibration is doing it. It's the same as the swallowing.
It's a nice feeling. It's not
Yeah,
a
it makes you feel like you're,
I feel
and
like
you can feel
smiling.
it go up.
Yeah, it's all up here. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's just vibration. It's not you at all.
That's good vibration.
It's a very good one. Yes. So now, do you think we all know how to be successful and get that park spot?
I wouldn't mind those
We
shoes.
go through the red light while we're meditating on getting a park spot, right? And we all know how to meditate now. We can all go home and get our little spot and clean it all up and put a little fence around it, and that's ours. I do ask you to meditate, because meditation will not only help you and those around you. By raising your vibration, you will raise the vibration of your family, your friends, and your planet. And there's no better way to help those in need than to raise your vibration and eventually raise theirs as well, with no effort at all, and no need for the, what do we call that healing bit where you send the healing off? What's it called? Yeah, absent healing, that's it. No need for that, because your vibration will do it all. Any more questions? Then I thank you and may God bless.